Okay, so this is the setup. So as you can see, squat pyramid, MIDI out, going into the MIDI in. There is no MIDI through coming from there for anywhere else. Got three voltages coming out of the pyramid, which are also going into there. The audio from this is going into there. That's just going into my speakers. So actually I could plug it directly into the speakers if you don't believe me. Right, I'll show you what's going on the pyramid. So I'll play each track individually. So that's kind of the main riff. If I take the delay off it, it's that. So the delay helps a lot. So a lot of the parts are basically playing dotted rhythms, and the delay is doing straight quarter notes, which means the delays come back in between the quarter notes, or in between the dotted notes, which adds like counter rhythms to them. So I'll go through these one at a time. So that's the main thing. There's which again you can hear there's a lot of sort of dotted rhythms in there, and that is just this part is actually, if you go in, if we look at this is just sending a CV. It's sending a MIDI CC, which is going through MIDI, coming out of the assignable output there. The assignable output is going into the shape of oscillator 1, and you can see that oscillator 1 flicks between the two squarish and down to there. So when I play, hear the bass notes. So that's lined up to play the bass notes with like a waveform with less harmonics in it, which adds to what's going on with the bass. Another weird thing that I'm doing with this, which I think I'd forgotten about, is I put the LFO into the audio path, and that helps with the thump on that bass and sort of adds a bit more bass into it. I don't think I'm using the LFO for anything else, just like sort of making that a thump for the pseudo bass drum. Right, so that's that part. Let's turn the if I put those on together, you can hear that it's the sustained notes are stealing a lot of the notes from that part. And I've got a very high resonance on the filter, and I've also got key tracking on the filter, which kind of almost adds an extra part in there, if you can notice. So that's that part. And this one here is like another bit that just adds stuff in between. So put it all three together. If I just have those two together. Or those two together. So the last one of the MIDI triggered parts is just that. What's that doing? Well, if you want to have a look at it, it is literally just, you can just see it's a bunch of notes on C6, but if you look at the length of them, they're like 1/16 of a 16th, and the gate time is very short. I don't know if you can read that there. That's what's going on with it. So very, very short gates, very high up, just gives a click. Yeah. If I have that going at the same time as that, here you only hear the clicks in between. And you can hear that at the start of the tune that I recorded. You can hear that like the clicks are there, but only when the other part isn't keeping the gate open. If you hear that in combination with those, because there's more space in between. They're both playing dotted rhythms, but out of sync with it. Well, phase shifted with each other. So you get that going. Right, so I've also got, let's turn that off, some pseudo percussion parts. So that I think, if I remember rightly, the gate output from the pyramid is triggering somewhere in this patch bay, if you can see down into the depth of all those wires. It's triggering the second envelope, and I got the second envelope patched to the auxiliary CV on the attenuator, or attenuator 1. And I think the way I've got this, because it's a while since I put this patch in, as you can see, the patch bay is quite dense. And yeah, I guess I need to make a diagram of what's going on with that patch bay. But essentially what's going on with the patch is the white noise is going into the auxiliary CV, which is being triggered by envelope 2, or being controlled by envelope 2, which has got, if you look at the settings of it, it's got a very short, it's got 0 attack, a very, very short decay. So you get like a click, and the sustain is quite short, but it's there. So if you put a sustain note on it, you get something which sounds not very much like a snare. But if I play the other part of that, you know, all that is like short gates and long gates. And I think those overlap. I don't really know why I put those on, you know, two different things, but you know, it's just, you know, it's not all thought out. And I think that one, what is that doing? I think that is controlling the filter as well, which you probably don't notice that much. So that's it. If we put it all on together, the other parts are just stuff where I was messing around. So that's it. Yeah,